Hello everyone, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. Thank you all for returning and welcome all new persons. So for today's reading, we're going to tune into your masculine energies. We are both masculine and feminine within. This has nothing to do with sexuality or gender. It's just the energetic masculine part of you, and we're going to tune in to see what guidance, what information wants to come through. We have 3 pile choices for you today. For pile number 1, we have the cherry garnet. For pile number 2, we have the golden healer. And for pile number 3, we have the citrine. So use your intuition on which reading is speaking to you the most. Pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps will be listed in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Welcome, pile number 1. You all were drawn to the garnet. This is your reading, your messages from your divine masculine self. Oops. So you guys were drawn to this card here, and this card is about your identity. How you see yourself, how you present yourself to the world, the different masks that you wear, the many layers to your personality. So yeah, let's see what your divine masculine self wants to reveal to you. Let's put your crystal there. Okay. So we have flying. Setting yourself free, taking a leap of faith, coming to life. Okay, so there's a part of yourself that you're freeing, that you are allowing to be seen. Perhaps a part of you that may have been hidden, that you were trying to protect. Ooh, and you have ride the wave with the dolphin. All right, so this one always for me connects to the inner child here. Freeing an aspect of yourself from childhood, perhaps, that maybe was tucked away, was hidden. A layer of self. Yeah, even with the little flying Pegasus, it looks like a carousel here. Freeing an aspect of yourself that may have been hidden and protected since childhood. And you're allowing it to shine, allowing that part of yourself to shine. Or at least that's what your divine masculine wants you to do. Wants you to free an aspect of yourself that has been kind of hidden, and that you don't allow to be seen very often. To allow it to have some fun, to play, to come to light, for you to come to light. Card number 5, changes, adventure, freedom, and we have the flying, you know, taking a leap of faith with a 2, coming into healthy partnership with yourself. And then we have 11, nice. 11, awakening, enlightenment, trusting your intuition, a higher purpose. Ooh, and we have another 5, so we have 55 coming through, coming into alignment with your purpose. Powerful change and transformation for you, pile number 1. We have the 9th house with exploration and a number 11. So we have 1111 coming through, coming into the right path, awakening to something new, coming into alignment, manifestation even. And we have the 9th house with exploration and, you know, your philosophy of life here, you know, a search for meaning, higher education, exploring your mind, expanding into this aspect of yourself here. And I even feel the wheel, so a new cycle, a new shift, new beginning. And help the search for meaning. Deeper truths here. Ooh, and you have Vesta with the hearth coming through. Not being afraid to shine your light. Your divine masculine wants you to share your light, to share your wisdom, to allow yourself to free yourself from hiding your light. Shine your light, but not at the expense of like your own health, you know, making sure you find that balance. Tend to that inner fire here and share your truth with others. Tending to the soil, I'm hearing as well. Nurturing yourself, nurturing this part of yourself, freeing this part of yourself. Oh my gosh, and you got midheaven, nice. Midheaven, this is about your purpose. Also how you view success, how comfortable you feel at being seen here. Also how your family has trained you to see things or see yourself, your relationship with authority. Yeah, this is your mountaintop to climb. That's what the midheaven is. This is like, you know, where the sun reaches the peak of the day. Your work, your mountain, what you're meant to do in the world here, and how you view success. So there's something that your inner child is going to bring forth that is part of your soul calling here, what you're meant to do, part of what your, you know, your light, what your your mission is, you know, your contribution to the world. Your relationship with success. What makes you feel successful? How do you view success? Pile number 1. And to release whatever it is that doesn't make you feel happy, you know, because sometimes we have, you know, parental and familial, you know, our families' expectations, as well as society's expectations on us about what success looks like, how things should appear when someone is successful. And sometimes those things, like, our view of success doesn't always match what everyone else's is. You know, it's something that is, it's personal, something for you to explore on your own, for you to go within and tend to your own inner fire. You know, what is my personal truth? What is your personal truth? How do you view success? What makes you happy? What would make you happy? What action, what career would make you feel, you know, successful? It would make your inner child feel so happy to act on this passion, you know. That's what you're being called to do. Your divine masculine wants you to choose something, to follow your inner light, to follow what makes you, what brings you joy and your own personal view of success. Ooh, and you got the roots. Look at this. Okay, so we have the midheaven and we have the root here. So this is where the sun is at its lowest peak in the sky, like the opposite of the midheaven here. So your ancestral roots, you know, this is your upbringing. What was your family's belief systems? You know, what was their emotional health like? Their personal connection to you know, finances. What was their belief about success? What was their belief about the world? Sometimes we are inheriting these from our parents, from our grandparents, and from their parents. You know, it's a generational thing. The roots that feed us, you know, the belief systems that we're all born into. And there's something that we end up bringing forward until we stop, until we do more self-exploration and get to know our own truths and our own values and our own views of success through our own experience, you know, until we gain our own wisdom. We tend to fall on our parents' wisdom and their belief systems, and that's what supports us, but it's not necessarily the most healthy or the most beneficial or making us find happiness in the world, you know. So there's something about looking at your roots, looking at your foundations, and finding the truth about what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel grounded, you know, what feeds your soul, and finding that within your own being and not the outside world, you know, tending to your own inner fire and getting to know your truth. your inner child's truth. We have the green man. Nice. Look at that, abundantly green. So there's some healing. There's a lot of growth here for you, pile number 1. So we have the green man. All that I desire comes to me easily and effortlessly. I know this to be true, for I am abundant in all that I do. Ooh, that's beautiful. And we have ride the wave. All right, so there may be something that you've been wanting to manifest in your world, something you've been wanting to create. Yeah, because you've been, I feel like you have been releasing. You've been freeing yourself from, you know, having to wear a mask or trying to fit in, trying to be something that doesn't quite, you know, make you feel fulfilled, makes you feel a little bit trapped. And I feel like you have freed an aspect of your being, and it's going to be bringing in this abundance here. There's a lot of growth. Ooh, look, and you have manifestation. Okay. Sometimes they come as a breeze on your fingertips. At other times, they dwell in the depths of your soul. It is a dance between you and spirit as the magic unfolds. Ooh, I feel like this is, you are bringing to light your ancestral wisdom here. I feel like you are bringing healing to your ancestors. The more that you step into this, the more that you remove these masks, and the more you step into your light, into your truth, you heal the soil, you heal the foundations. You bring to light, you bring healing, you bring love, you bring nurturing energy to your family, to your bloodline, your family tree. Ooh, and you have bonfire. Nice. It is through remembering that you awake the ritual of your existence and be reborn in mighty celebration. I love that. Okay, you are stepping into your truth. I love the fire here. Work with the fire element, especially the violet flame, to transform these old energies. I feel like, you know, we're stepping into the year of the fire horse in a few weeks, and this is the, you know, the fire that brings freedom with passion and endurance to keep moving, to transform, to illuminate. You are being reborn into this, the version of yourself that you have freed. You know, your true self is coming to light here. The version of you that was hidden or tucked away, you're allowing it to shine now. And you should be so proud of yourself. And so we have a 22 here, master balance number, coming into partnership with yourself, with the divine, being on the right path, and transformation, of course. Harmony, have positive thoughts. A lot of old truths, old beliefs are being transformed and healed. It's amazing. What else do we have? We have eyes on the prize. Trust the guidance of your North Star. Beautiful. Keep, look at her, she's pointing towards the star, focusing on what it is you want to create, focusing on your happiness, focusing on your joy, things that make you feel fed, you know, nurturing that soil, nurturing those seeds of intent, what it is you want to grow, what it is you want to see in the world through your own effort, through your belief system. We have 44, building that foundation, divine support, angels supporting you, offering strength and resilience to keep going. We have ocean of emotion. Find a safe place to express your true feelings. Good. I love it. Allow whatever emotions need to come to the surface to be healed and transformed. Go with that flow. Use that fire to help transform them, to release them. They're no longer serving you. It's time to step into your true north here, your true self, your divine self, and allow your light to be seen, and to build that solid foundation with this version of yourself that you're allowing to come forward now, which is your true self, your true identity. We have card 28, which is a 10. unity, potential new beginnings, the end of one cycle, the beginning of a new cycle, eternal cycles, illumination. Nice. That's right, with the fire. Look at this doorway. Yeah, you're stepping through a whole new, a portal of light here, and whole new beginning. Allowing that light to be seen, healing that inner child, allowing yourself to fly. We have sadness, anger, and ghost. Yeah, this is the past here. These are the what needs to be cleansed and healed, right? Allowing, you know, whatever needs to come to the surface, whatever it is from the past, to be transformed, to be illuminated. You may have, you know, there may be some old emotions that surface, some old memories that come to the surface. Allow yourself to move through them with the ocean of emotion here. Allow the emotions to flow through you. I feel like you have been connecting to your emotional body, the memories of the past, which is what is allowing yourself, your inner child, to feel safe and secure, because you no longer deny and repress them. You've accepted them, you've nurtured them, you've validated them, and you've illuminated them. You've made them feel comforted by acknowledging the true feelings, and they no longer feel separate. Your inner child doesn't feel ignored. It doesn't feel alone and afraid. It now feels seen and acknowledged and loved. And so which is what is enabling you to shine your light, to go with the flow, to heal these ancestral wounds that you may not have even been aware of, that they were, you know, even going further back than your own parents. It's generational. You know, we have several generations here. And you've learned to nurture the roots, nurture the soil with your love, with your awareness. And it has brought a lot of growth and a lot of healing for you. And because I feel there's two different collectives. Some of you have been doing this work, and some of you, this is the path that you're embarking on. Some soul growth here. And don't be afraid. You know, nurture yourself through the process. I'm going to get y'all some final closing messages. Pile number 1, please. Let's see. You have dance to the rhythm of life. Today, I find the joy in my heart. I lighten my life by releasing what I no longer need. I align myself with who I am and gently acknowledge who I am not. I am grateful for what I possess and at peace with what I do not. I appreciate and accept life as it is. I live according to the will of God, and in this way I dance with life and see the magic of love bloom. Beautiful. So confirmation here about going with the flow, knowing who you are, getting to know yourself on a deeper level, know who you are and who you are not, by weeding out these old ancestral belief systems here. And allowing yourself to be guided by your own inner light. And we have beyond. Today, I lift my consciousness above all worldly illusions. I remember the power I have in every situation. I always have a choice in how I respond. Today, I choose to turn my thoughts towards God by focusing on my awareness beyond the illusions of the material world. I experience simplicity and peace. Ooh, I love that. So for this card here, what I'm feeling is this is about, you know, not allowing the outside world to influence you, you know, and seeking inner counsel with your own divine connection to the higher powers, you know, whether you call it God, Source, Creator, Spirit, the Great Spirit. You know, whoever you pray to, this is your personal connection here, and not needing outside approval, that you are the one who can choose your own belief systems. You choose how you want to see things from your own perspective through your own experience, and not needing the outside world to tell you the truth. You know, the only person's approval you need is your own, pile number one. Whew. All right, you guys, those are your messages from your divine masculine selves. I'm sending out lots of love. Please like and subscribe to my channel if this reading resonated with you. I'd love to hear from you guys, hear your story. If you don't know what to say, just let me know that this was your reading. All right, y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading, pile number 2. So you guys were drawn to the Golden Healer with this card here. These are your messages from the divine masculine within you all. These are collective readings. Please take what resonates with you and lovingly leave the rest. So with this card here, this is about blind faith here. And we have this individual who has, you know, all the different religions and belief systems all being represented, right? We even have Darwinism here on the back. So you guys actually got 2 cards coming out for you. And I wanted to honor the second one because this is about getting to know your truth, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, figuring things out for yourself. What is your actual belief system here? And your divine masculine wants you to take responsibility and ownership for your own truth and for your own personal belief systems, and to go within and get in touch with your truth and learn who you truly are, to learn what your true belief systems are, not based on anyone else's but your own. Let's do these side by side here. And put your crystal over here. All right, let's see what else wants to come through. We have the Bone Collector. Okay. This has to do with ancestral wisdom, knowledge. This can also be the, you know, things that are passed down. So belief systems that are passed down generationally. Heal the ouch. Okay, yeah, coming to life. All right, so this card came out in pile number 1. Some of you may have come over here from pile number 1. So some of you, your divine masculine wants you to get in touch with your truth and to shine your light within and learn your own belief systems, to shed any of these outdated old beliefs and patterns that may have come down generationally. We have a 2, a 10, a 1, and an 11. So you have 11 here on the board. Ooh, and another 11. So we have lots of 11s, lots of awakenings, trusting your intuition, enlightenment, a higher purpose, higher calling even. And with 2, we have partnership, thinking positively, shifting your perspective even, finding harmony and balance in the situations, compromise. That's the peacock sounding off. An agreement here. Okay, so lots of 1s. New beginnings, taking the first step here and finding independence, leadership, a new cycle, new belief systems even. All right, there's some old, we have heal the touch, you know, this is the, heal the ouch. Some of you may have a healing touch, but there's a wound here. This could be a religious wound, something that has to do with philosophy, religion. There may be something that took place or something that has affected you on a deeper level. And I feel like there is some healing that's going to be taking place for you. Yeah, we have review. Something you need to think about, something you need to review as in your personal beliefs, which is why you're getting asked to get in touch with your true self. putting the pieces together. You know, we have this girl and she's got all these pieces and she's starting to put them together, starting to figure things out, starting to perceive things through her own intuition. We have sensitive. Okay, yeah. Listen to your intuition here. You're being asked to, the divine masculine energy is asking you to listen to the divine feminine. She's going to offer a lot of wisdom. This is your heart, your body, listening to your natural instincts. You know, what is your intuition telling you about this? Does this make sense to you? Has this been your personal experience? Why is this my belief system? Why do I believe that? Why do I lean this direction? Or why doesn't this make sense to me? This is what, you know, my family has taught me. This is what my family believes, or this is what society believes. How come that doesn't resonate to me on a core? You know, because we are all different, you know, and not everybody's belief system matches our own through our own experience. And that's why we are all given the free will to choose, to make a choice that resonates with who we are to our core. And we're all different. Everybody's experience in life has been different. We've all had different traumas. We've all had different challenges. We've all had different upbringings. We all come from different religious backgrounds. So, and those all are parts of our puzzle, right? They have all created who we are. So not everything that we are taught fits into our picture. You know, it doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, you know, there's a reason why it doesn't make sense, because it's not a personal truth for you. It's what somebody else is enforcing on you, and it doesn't align with who you truly are. Oh, we have chant. Hear me loud, hear me roar, for I am here in my truth. Beautiful. And your divine masculine wants you to be comfortable being who you are and expressing your truth and allowing that part of yourself to shine, regardless of what anybody else thinks. You know, there's always a little bit of fear about being different and expressing a different point of view, because, you know, we can be afraid of the backlash, or we're afraid that we won't be accepted. And I definitely understand that. That has been a fear of my own, and it's one that I have overcome in the past couple of years, even doing this channel and expressing my truth and sharing my gifts and my wisdom. I've come a long way in doing that, and I want to give you confidence and encouragement to continue walking that path regardless of what other people are going to say. And you know, here's the thing, somebody's always going to say something. Everyone's not always going to agree. We're always going to have, you know, someone who likes to throw their 2 cents out there and share their point of view, but it doesn't mean that we have to take it and own it as ours. You know, your truth isn't my truth, and I'm sharing my truth. This is my point of view, my perspective through my own experience. I'm sharing my wisdom, my light, and hoping that it would help somebody else who may have a similar experience find their footing, you know, find a connection, know that they're not alone, you know. And there's this one meme that I've seen, and it just explains, you know, humanity at its core, you know. And there's 4 different pictures, and the first picture is this husband and wife, and they're riding a donkey, and the townspeople are like, oh, that poor donkey, look at them both, you know, working that donkey hard. They're both sitting on its back, right? And then it goes to the next picture, and it's the husband riding a donkey, and the woman is walking. And all the townspeople are going, shame on that husband for making his wife walk, you know, by herself while he rides the donkey. And then there's the third image, and now the wife is riding the donkey, and the townspeople are going, shame on that wife for making her husband walk by himself while she rides the donkey. And then in the fourth image, nobody's riding the donkey, and the townspeople are going, look at those idiots. Nobody's riding the donkey. Nobody's utilizing the donkey, you know. So, like, somebody's always going to have something to say. And here's the thing, like, you don't need their approval, you know, and you really have to have that confidence within yourself that says, you know, this is my truth, and I don't need anybody else to validate that for me. This has been my experience, and that is how I've come to my truth, through everything that I've learned. This is my wisdom. We have the Rowan tree. There is no need to fear, dear one. Protected you are, and protected you will always be. There we go. Your guides want you to know that you are protected here. And this is the thing. It's also about protecting your truth. Standing solid in your truth. Look at that tree, you know, has these strong roots to support this canopy, to support the truth, to support this growth, this experience. This is the soil. Nurture your truth here. Like we have another tree. Sacrifice. You must find the ebb and flow of life within your very self. Embracing it all is embracing truth. Nice. That's the thing. There's some things that just don't align with your experience here in the world, you know. And sometimes, like, you know, those belief systems, like I said, they come from, you know, our parents, from society, from people that we put on a pedestal, that we admire and look up to. And at the time, it may have served you. But as we get older and we come into our wisdom through our own experience, sometimes those beliefs, they no longer serve the version of you, you know. They don't align anymore. And so that's what needs to be surrendered and needs to be let go of and transformed, so that you can stand in your truth and not worry about needing anybody's approval, because you have found your truth now. This is, you know, allow it to be a part of you. We have primal. There is no other way around but through the very truth that lives within you. Thank you. This is your truth. You can't deny your truth through your experiences. This is how you've come to your truth, is through this experience. So release it. We have ribbons. For it lives in the silk of my binding, the knots in my truth, the eye of becoming, the witness swallowed in stillness. See, and this is your truth. And these ribbons represent the karmic ties, you know what I mean? The karmic belief systems, the patterns, the things that prevent you from moving forward, from coming to light, from standing in your truth and owning your truth. And this is what needs to be healed. This is what needs to be let go, so that you can become who you're meant to be, so that you can shine your light fiercely into the world without doubt, without fear, without needing approval. I'll put that over here. Ooh, we have success. Yes, you're going to be met with success the more you stand in your light and your truth. Higher consciousness here, evolving, growth, forward movement, coming into alignment with higher consciousness. And we have reflection. Yeah, reflect on your belief systems, pile number 1. That's the main thing coming through here with your divine self, is to have more, spend more time in self-reflection and examine your belief systems, because our belief systems can prevent us from living the life that we want to create from ourselves, from manifesting our belief. You know, we can all have childhood things that our parents would say to us, you know, that prevent us from attaining our goals. I know one that my parents used to say, you know, like, money's the root of all evil, right? And so then we develop this negative relationship with money, and we think that, you know, to have money is something bad. And so therefore we end up having like a vow of poverty, to agree to like never have, you know, financial security in our lives. And so we're always straining and struggling, trying to achieve that stability. But underneath we have this belief that, oh, well, money means something wrong, something evil. and it's really not. It's a tool that we all use, and it's how we use the tool that makes it good or bad, right? So it's getting in there and learning your truths and standing in your truths. You have X marks the spot. Love it. See? Love in disguise. Okay? Don't shame any aspect of yourself or any person who may have given you these beliefs. You know, I mean, they have good intentions. I mean, they do not know the what is the word I'm looking for? They do not know the extent of damage that just even simple words like that, money's the root of all evil, how we can create a narrative based on that story, based on their belief system and how it will affect us in the future. You know what I mean? So it's having that understanding that, you know, most people don't intentionally give us these belief systems to inflict pain or, you know, to create havoc in our life. That there is, I feel like for some people, they feel that if they denounce something, that it makes them evil or it makes them bad. You know, if they go against the grain or go against what everybody else is doing, that somehow they're wrong for being different. And here's the thing, like, there's a reason why you are different. You're here to bring change. You're here to illuminate other possibilities, other potentials, and give different perspectives because of your personal relationship, your personal experience through your life has given you this wisdom. We were all created perfect in God's image, and we were all given free will and free choice because God wanted to experience itself, having all these many different experiences. So you have wisdom that is uniquely your own, and you're meant to share that. You're meant to honor that. You're meant to stand in that and not to shame it. We have you are invited. Suit up, show up, and open up. Nice. You're invited to stand in your truth here, to open up, to share your light, to shine your light, shine your truth. We have never a crowd on the leading edge. Honor those who honor you. Oh, I love this. All right, so never a crowd on the leading edge, right? This is saying that it always takes one person, you know what I mean, to light that fire and lead the way, you know, to go against the crowd. And initially it is just one person, you know what I mean, one drop in the ripple that causes the ripple, you know what I mean. And so at first you may feel alone, you may feel a little isolated, standing out there on your own, holding this truth, waving this flag, you know, that's meant to help free other people from this limiting belief system. But you are being supported by your ancestors, by the many lights and souls who have come before you, and the spirit realm and the ancestral realm. They're all rooting for you. They're all chanting for you. You know, they're wanting you to share your truth, to shine your light, and to honor who you are. And we have the magic zone, the exhilaration of discombobulation. All right, this one's about, you know, embracing the chaos, embracing the shift, and finding time to nurture yourself, to spend time in the creation zone here, right? Now is the time where you get to choose, you know, who you are and what your belief system is through your experience, and to honor that, to own that, and to allow yourself to bathe in the beauty of that. You know, continue to follow your intuition, and, you know, this is the power to create your world, to create, you know, your dreams, and to bring them to fruition here. Yeah, you're being invited to show up, to show out, pile number 2. And to, you know, honor who you are and honor your belief systems, and to not be afraid. All right, let me get you some closing support. Woo. All right, so we have 3 that wanted to come out for you guys. We have trusting. Today I trust in God no matter what happens as my day unfolds. I will remember to remain in harmony. I will maintain my sense of humanity, and I will keep my focus on God's love for me. In these ways, I will minimize drama and increase my inner spiritual strength. Beautiful. Focus on yourself, not anybody else's approval, okay? Have trust, have faith that you are being guided, that you are where you are meant to be. Everything's happening for a purpose. Even if it's unknown at the time, things will be revealed. Eventually, all things will be revealed, right? Know that you are loved and that you are being held by Source Creator here, God, whoever you pray to. We have everything changes. As a soft light radiates from my heart, it illuminates those around me and transforms every situation that I encounter. I maintain a positive attitude in spite of any difficulties I may perceive. No matter the circumstances, I remain a source of true joy. Everything changes when it is bathed in the light of the divine. Amazing. Okay, so things are going to be, changing because you're changing, all right? And don't be afraid of change. Step into the path of change and to embrace this shift that you're going through. You're transforming, you're healing, you're becoming your true self, Allow yourself to be guided. Allow the emotions to flow. Allow them to be nurtured by your heart. Love yourself. This is the cleansing, the transformation. We're in the time of transformation, like big transformation. We have the fire horse year coming up, and it's like full steam ahead, and it's blazing fires. It's wanting freedom. It's wanting to push us all to the edge, wanting us to wake up, to transform these old outdated belief systems and to free ourselves from the illusions that keep us all stuck in a past pattern, in a past cycle. And it opens us up to free us so that we can see our true light, to see our true divinity, to see what's real and what's been an illusion all along. So know that everything's changing for the better, okay? And we have stand tall and strong. Today, I choose to remain positive. I face all of my challenges with strength and courage. I will not be denied or turned away. I do not allow myself to be carried away by negative thoughts. I stand tall and strong, and I live each moment in joy and peace, leaving my future in God's hands. I believe in life because life believes in me. See, and that's the thing, like, some of these old religions, they pray to a God who makes them afraid, and the thing, like, God is all loving, all giving, all compassion, all understanding. That's why we were given the free choice, because we were given the ability to co-create, and so we are not going to be shamed or turned away, and it's all about your belief system, your belief in God. And what does God mean to you? What does that connection feel like to you? And not, our God doesn't want us to be ashamed or to be afraid. God wants us to be all love, all compassion, all understanding and forgiving, and allowing everybody to grow and learn on their own. And that is why we were given the free will, to choose to learn through the experience, And when we all transcend this plane of existence, and we're all, in our spiritual bodies, and we're all love and light, we can look back on this experience, and there will be times where there's moments where we made the wrong choices, and we see the hurt and the pain that we caused others, and as a being of love and light, it doesn't sit well with us, which is why we choose to come back here, is to make right, those mistakes. And unfortunately, we forget why we came back here, and we're thrown back into these certain life lessons again, so that we can learn and hopefully overcome them. So, Earth is a school. We're always learning. We're always growing. And the God that I believe in is all loving and doesn't inflict fear and pain onto us when we make a mistake. And it's up to you to find your own connection and find your own path. And that's what God wants you to do, is find your own connection to Source Creator, to God, to the divine. Each person's journey is their own, and not to let somebody else's belief be your belief if it truly doesn't resonate with your soul and your heart, okay? All right, pile number 2. This was your reading today. These are your messages from your divine masculine. I'm sending y'all so much love and such a big hug. All right, if this reading resonated with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you back for future readings. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know that this was your reading. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome everybody who chose this card with the citrine crystal. This is your reading, your messages from the Divine Masculine within you. So you guys were drawn to this card here, which represents somebody who feels a little bit trapped in their situation. This could be in the relationship, it could be in a belief system, in a career, just feeling stuck at the moment. And it can even be our own fears, you know, afraid to move forward, afraid to step out of our comfort zone. This can be out of obligation. Maybe perhaps, like I know I have some of these feelings. We take care of several elderly here on the farm and everything. And one of them has dementia, and it kind of limits our time away from the farm because we have to come home and, you know, take care of her, and it's something that requires a lot of our time and energy. And yeah, so it's an emotional obligation as well as a physical obligation, and sometimes it can just feel very limiting, very overwhelming, and it's something that we're just, you know, having to deal with at this phase of our life at the moment. So there could be something that you can relate to in regards to that. It can also be, you know, financial obligation, things that you're, you know, like it's limiting. Something is limiting you, like, and it can be in many different aspects. We're going to look at the other cards to get some more insight, but this has to do about feeling limited in some way. So let's see what your Divine Masculine wants to give you. All right, we have follow the leader. Okay, so we have this path with a bunch of creatures, and then we have this big tree with a clock on it, and it appears to be fall. So there's something that needs to be released. It's time for you to release something, to take the path to release something. We have education. And sacred pool, and details. Okay. I see the word clarity here. All right, so with this coming out, with these coming out, I see that you're being asked to, your Divine Masculine wants you to heal something, that there's something that you may not be aware of, something you're not seeing. You need to take some time to go within, understand your circumstance, see it from a different perspective. There's something you may not be seeing clearly here, with clarity coming through with the magnifying glass. And we have two, this appears, I'm not sure what this is. It looks like the zodiac here. And we have the clock here. So something is shifting. It's time to shift a perspective. Oh, the leader. Maybe there's something, yeah, with the obligation. Maybe this is something that's been forced on you. This can be family obligations, maybe forcing you into a role that you don't really feel is truly authentically you. Number 4, foundation. Number 8, cycles of growth, strength. We have card number 11 and a 7. Awakening, insight. Okay, and with the sacred pool here, this is about healing, a nurturing energy here, nurturing yourself, nurturing your intuition here, nurturing your path. There's something that I feel like you're not seeing clearly, which is why you have the education card here. There's something that you need to seek out some more information, understanding. We have introspection, going within the 12th house here. Yeah, it's time for you to transcend a certain belief system that you have. There could be a part of you that's feeling limited or repressed, that needs self-expression, that needs expressing. Yeah, perhaps there's a part of you that you want to release, that you want to share with the world. Yeah, okay. So some of you, there is an aspect of your being that you have, that you don't feel safe sharing with the world. Maybe you don't feel good enough. Maybe you don't feel like you are accepted as you are. Maybe this is something that's different. It's not something that everybody knows about or everybody has seen. You don't feel safe expressing this version of you. And that is why we have this sacred pool. This is what needs healing. This is what needs your attention, and it's time for you to release this fear. What do we have? We have the oak. Don't just look within. Dive deeply into the eternal realms of knowing. Okay. So we have the introspection and the oak with going within, diving in. And you know, an oak is one of the strongest trees. They have, especially in the, you know, tree magic and everything, they're one of the wisest, if I remember correctly. They have very strong roots, and they have this really large canopy, you know, and it's because they are very secure, very grounded, very rooted in who they are, which enables them to have this like strong support, you know, to be able to hold this large canopy. So as wide and as big as the canopy is, the deeper and the stronger the root system is below, you know, in order to support that. So this is about having a strong conviction within yourself of who you are and what you want to achieve in the world, what you want to manifest in the world, how you want to exist in the world, and getting to know yourself on a deeper level, so that you feel more confident in expressing that. So there's something about getting to know yourself deeper here and cleansing out anything that makes you feel like you're not good enough, or that you have to be in a certain role because this is the obligation, this is what's being forced upon you by others. We have inner power. Nice. Let it be known, no will or desire is more powerful than I embodied. Ooh, nice. Okay, so your divine masculine wants you to own your power, to embody your true self with who you are. See, and the eyes are closed. Take some time to go within and connect to your divine spark. Connect to your truth. And to empower yourself. Pile number 3. We have love spell. Let the honey of your soul swell in the depths of love. Okay, so some of you, this could be a relationship that you have. Maybe that relationship, there's an aspect of that relationship that's not really holding up to expectations. And I mean, just take what applies for you. Some of you, this could be you holding expectation with your partner, or somebody having expectations with you, whether it's within a family or within a partnership. And there's certain things that we can expect from our relationships, right? We should be able to expect respect, upholding boundaries, you know, the limitations, or the you know, the boundaries that we set within the relationship. You know, some people don't mind if their partner checks out other people because they feel secure that they're with them. Some people don't like that. Some people feel, you know, like that's disrespectful and I don't appreciate you doing that. You know, we all set different boundaries for our relationship, and those should be honored and respected, right? And everybody has them, you know. Some of us are not, what's the term? Monogamous, you know. Some of us are not swingers, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. But, you know, to each their own. Everybody has their own expectations within a relationship, right? But are they feasible? You know what I mean? And is it forcing somebody to change who you are because, you know, they don't understand who you are? And that can be anybody who's like, you know, the transgender or gay, fluid, whatever the case may be. You know, somebody actually trying to change who you are at your core isn't somebody really that you want to invest all your time and your heart into, right? People who love you should love you just as you are, and it doesn't matter the vessel, it's your soul. So there's certain things that we can expect in relationships and certain things that are just, you know, asking too much, and it's up to us as individuals to express those needs, wants, and desires, and, you know, where our limitations and our boundaries are within that relationship. And communication is always key, and being vulnerable and expressing those versus coming from a place of attack or anger. You know what I mean? It's one of those where you're going to get more flies with honey than with vinegar, right? So it's choosing how we express our heart and our needs and our desires, and ultimately that's what's going to lead us to our goal, you know, is by owning your power, stepping into your power, knowing your truth on the deepest level, and being able to communicate that and expressing that to your partner, you know, or to this family member, to whoever it is that you need to have this conversation with. Your divine masculine is wanting to empower you to stand in your truth and to share your heart, you know, share your grievances. If there's something that's just not working out, something that's just, you know, this isn't doing it for me, or, you know, I feel, you know, sad about this, or, you know, there's boundaries that are being crossed, whatever the case may be. Having that conversation and communicating that to your partner. I definitely feel like this is a little bit of a relationship reading here. All right, we have honey coming through, confirmation here. The sweetness of you swells in the grace of your pool, oh so beautifully lethal. I got some doggies barking. Hang on, I'm going to pause your video in case it gets too loud, because sometimes when one barks, they all go off. Oops. All right, hang on. So with the honey card coming out, along with the love spell and inner power, I feel like there may be a little bit of a fear about not being good enough, or perhaps that if you had this conversation and, you know, take what applies, if this ended the relationship, whatever way, that you are somebody who's very attractive, very magnetic, you will find somebody who falls in love and sees you for the beauty that you have within, you know what I mean? For the beauty that you are, for the light that you are. And not to be afraid to own your truth and to own how you feel. And to speak your truth, to communicate your truth. Because the right person will love you for that, because it means that you care enough to share and to be vulnerable and say when something isn't working, you know, when something needs to change. And it actually will help your relationship to grow stronger with the oak here. It will help you to have a stronger relationship with yourself and to honor that you have needs and that this isn't working, you know, and that things need to shift. We have Maiden. Demand what is yours and take back what is taken. Reclaim until you've gathered all of you. Ooh, look at this. We have this full moon here, coming into the fullness, into completion here. Yeah, it's time for you to take your power back in the situation where you feel like you have to, like you're stuck, you know, like I was saying. Oh my goodness, hang on, y'all. Okay. The kids are out there playing with the dogs and they're all running around and barking and playing. Alright, so demand what is yours and take back what was taken. So I feel like there's something, you've given away your power to someone or something, and it's time for you to claim it back. That this is who you are, and this is by my choice. And to empower yourself and to see where you have choice, where you need to clarify your boundaries, clarify your needs, get in touch with what your actual needs are, what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel passionate, what makes you feel supported, and who are those individuals who make you feel that way, you know, and to align yourself with those people, because they see your beauty, they see your light, they appreciate you just as you are. They're not trying to change you, they're not causing drama, you know, they're not forcing you to be in a relationship out of an obligation or out of guilt, you know, just because, you know, and I'll say this, just because they're family doesn't mean we owe them something. I have many family members that we just do not relate to each other as we've gotten older. They've done a lot of things that were very hurtful, and it's just, they don't even really care about their actions. They don't take responsibility for their actions. They don't apologize for things. They kind of just are like, you know, tough luck, tough shit, I don't care, get over it. And they're good at, you know, taking care of self, I'll put it that way. But I can't be in a relationship with somebody who's selfish and self-centered, and they don't really care about how, you know, they make another person feel, and they don't have that reciprocity, you know, of giving and taking. They're just like, always have the handout. They're always wanting something, and then if you need something, they're not there for you. And so I've learned how to set those healthy boundaries to protect myself away from those types of people. I still have love for them, but I don't need them in my life every single day, and I don't need their approval. You know, I know who I am, I know my truth, and I know my heart. And you can only communicate your needs and, you know, the types of relationships you're looking for to certain people, and then them not want to meet you halfway, you know, before you say that, okay, enough's enough, and time to move on, okay? And to own your right to claim your space, you know what I mean, to claim your needs in the relationship, and know there's nothing wrong with wanting that. We all deserve to have somebody in our life who meets us, you know, where we meet them, and is willing to meet us on that deep level. All right, and we have goat. This, I just heard someone's got your goat. That's an old saying. All right, fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. All right, let me reread that because they put the comma in the wrong spot. Fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. So with the goat here, I'm getting the Capricorn energy, and again, we have this full moon. Something has come to completion. I feel like something is finally is ready to let go. You know, the time is now to move forward, to release this, to let go. Capricorns are all about ambition, achievement, success, setting the standard. You know, they're very much on a schedule. They have higher standards for themselves, and they expect people to, you know, put in the work as much as they're willing to put in the work. Very driven, and they love, you know, they're very earthy, very grounded, very connected to their body, to themselves. They climb those high mountains, you know. The goats are very mountainous creatures, but they're also herd animals. You know, they love to belong to a herd. All right, let's see what else we have. We have disruption. Yes. Strength. Nice. It's time for these old ways to change. Things need to shift. We have anxiety. Okay. Sure. You know, anxiety, the reason why we get anxiety is because we're afraid of the future, of the past manifesting in the future. You know, we experience something that causes pain in the past that didn't work out, And so anxiety is us afraid that the past is going to repeat itself, that the future is just going to be a repeat of the past. And here's the thing, it can if we're not paying attention, if we're not seeing the signs, if we're overlooking red flags, if we're not making healthier choices, if we continually just look, at, like, let's say in a relationship, if we're only looking at the outside appearance of something and, oh, they're good looking, but their heart is dark, or their heart's very selfish, then of course we're not going to have that solid foundation we're looking for. If you're not in a relationship for the right reasons, then it's not going to have this long-lasting, solid foundation, right? Just like anybody who's getting into a relationship with someone just because they have a lot of money, it's not built on the foundation of love. It's built on a foundation of greed. So things can't last. They're not long lasting. So it has to be built on a pillar of strength and something that is solid, and of course love, true love, is something that endures and is long lasting. We have success. All right. You have to let go of the anxiety. You have to trust that you have the tools now, you have the wisdom now, you know what to look for in the relationships now, because you've experienced the lack of. And so through that experiencing of the lack, of the feeling stuck, feeling even betrayed, or feeling abandoned or alone or misunderstood, whatever the case may be, because you've experienced that, you now have the tools and the wisdom. This is where your power comes from. So now you can make those conscious choices on who you want in your life, who deserves to be in your life, who deserves to hold your heart, who's worthy of you now. And that's the thing, like, your divine masculine wants to protect you, wants you to protect yourself, to stand in your light and your truth, to stand in your strength, in your power. And you choose, you make the conscious choice of what you want to do with your life, not feeling stuck or obligated. Yeah, there's the ghost of the past here, which is what gives the anxiety, right? So that one came a little later. We have trust coming through, all right? Like I was saying, you have to trust yourself. Trust yourself to make conscious choices, not because you see the truth now. You see the full picture. Discover your superpower. Access 100% of your mojo. I love that for you guys. Yeah, know your worth, pile number 3. Know your worth. Know you deserve. Know that you're very attractive. And that you can... what you choose, if you choose to accept less than your worth, you will find somebody who doesn't find you worthy. You won't feel worthy in your relationship. You have to know your worth, and you have to know your value. You have to set those higher standards for yourself. You have to set those healthy boundaries for yourself. This is, I deserve somebody to treat me like this. And I'm not going to pretend that everything's okay when it's not okay. I'm not going to overlook your bad behavior. I'm not going to overlook your poor choices to disrespect me and betray me because you're good looking, whatever the case may be. Because I want you to be the one, but, they're not choosing you. You've chosen them for some reason, but they're not choosing you, and that's how you won't feel worthy, because you yourself aren't holding yourself to a place of worth. You're not setting your standard higher. And so the more love that you pour into yourself, the more you meet yourself in that place of love and respect. I'm not going to allow somebody to treat me this way. I'm going to hold a healthy boundary here that says I deserve this, and stand in that strength of deserving better, of knowing that you deserve more. And then trust that you're going to be met with that same person, that same type of energy, because you're holding this boundary that says, I want somebody to meet me here, to meet me in this space. and you hold that space until that person steps to you with that same vibrational match. And you have to trust and know that you're worthy and deserving of it. We have in the castle of dreams, become altered by the color of your dreams. This is about, this card is about having that, look, another full moon. There's so many full moons in your reading here. Lots of completions, things coming full circle, things that need to be released. And with the castle of dreams, this is your inner world matching your outer world. Sometimes like when it's like a dream coming true here, you know. Become altered by the color of your dreams. A waking dream. Manifest this, right? And believe and know that you're worthy of receiving your dream relationship, somebody meeting you there. Oh, look, you have the reward. Celebrate your magnificence. Love who you are. Honor your body. Honor your light. Honor your heart. Honor what makes you you. Honor your intentions. Honor your self-worth. Practice lots of self-care. Get to know your needs on a deeper level. Pile number 3. Get to know yourself on a deeper level. Ask yourself those questions, you know. And some of them are harder questions. Why do I settle for less than I deserve? Why am I attracted to this individual? Am I just attracted to the surface or to their soul, you know? And get to know people on a deeper level as well, you know. Watch their actions versus their words. Do they align? Are they who they say they are, you know? And you will find that the deeper you look, the more you'll see, you know. Things will come to light because you're taking the time to be more observant. All right, let me get you a couple more cards to close out your reading. That your divine self wants to empower you to choose what's right for you, not out of obligation, but out of your own, you know, power, your own needs. We have the inner alchemist. Like an alchemist, I possess all the power I need to build a life of joy and harmony. Today, through my positive thoughts, words, and deeds, I create my own light. I understand that I can use the inner magic of intention to transform myself in the same way an alchemist transforms lead into gold. Today, I create happiness. I love that. See, and you can change, you know, your beliefs, you can change your perceptions, you can change your life by making those conscious choices, by going within and transforming those belief systems about yourself. You know, why do I put myself last? Why do I take care of everybody else's needs before my own? You know, whatever the case may be, get to, you know yourself deeper. Get in touch with that divine feminine, your masculine says. All right, this one. Oh, we got these two right here. I am light. Today, the light is within me. The light surrounds me. The light protects me. I remain light-filled and joyful, regardless of what circumstances arise. I am a diamond shining forth in all my splendor. I am worthy of the divine within me. And look, I see this beautiful path ahead that is filled with so much light, so much love, so much protection. And you need to know that you are worthy and that you are deserving. Okay? And we have searching within. When I see outside myself is simply a mirror of my inner self. Today, I empower myself by looking past outer conditions and searching within for the source of a difficulty in my life. My inner wisdom will always help me face life challenges. It provides my best answers and my greatest healing. As I study myself, I am transformed. Beautiful confirmation, going within and getting to know yourself on a deeper level, you know, and know that you have the power to choose, to change your belief systems, to change your fears, to overcome them, to overcome your anxieties, to overcome the past, so that you can make your dreams manifest. But you have to be brave, and you have to go within, and you have to stand in your truth, but you have to know what your truth is first, okay? All right, pile number 3, this was your reading. I'm going to go ahead and close it down now. Thank you all so much for joining me here in the temple. Please like and subscribe to my channel if this reading resonated with you, or just let me know that this was your reading, or share your story. People like sharing your story. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.